Hello, people, and you're back with your host, Eric Estrada. And behind the camera, we have Jerry. And we're here with another episode of the Widow's Son Tattoo Company Reviews. And today we're talking about the E50 Plus. We're obviously sponsored by WOS, but just because we're sponsored doesn't mean that we're biased in any way, shape, or form. We're going to give a real review. That being said, I wouldn't be sponsored by them if they don't produce quality things. So that much we do know. All right, so enough said. Let's talk about this WOS E50 Plus. I apologize. As you see, it comes like always in a beautiful black and purple WOS case. Okay, in the very top, as soon as we open, we're going to get a couple of pamphlets and the tool to service the machine and change the stroke and a spare or two screws for the machine. We have immediately the instruction manual in 2 languages, in Chinese and in English. And you can scan the barcode right here so that you could go ahead and find out more about the product and videos related to it. Okay. And inside we have the actual machine itself and its charger and its separate grip. This would be the charger, and it is big and new looking. Okay. You're going to use a USB-C cord, anyone that you have, to plug it in, and they charge for you what the machine runs on, which is 18650 flathead batteries. They always come with a pack of 2, and these are 1900 mAh. They give you good hours. The machines don't come with a backup RCA system, but they compensate on the fact that they use these batteries that are so cheap that you could have literally many of them to go ahead, just swap and keep working. Just like its predecessor, the E50 Plus, right? The regular E50 runs on an L-bent direct drive motor. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the motor, when it spins, it has an axis with a L-bent bar, or in our shape, more like a Z-shaped bar. But it is to be able to fit the bigger size, stronger motor and still have this in the middle of the machine when it spins. To adjust the old E50, you needed to come here on the side where the Allen screw is, and you could only see, even with the eye loop, only the measurement of 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. You know that you have the strokes in between by you putting the line in between the other settings. But we didn't have a clear indicator and an easier way than going by the side. So that's where the upgrade happens in this machine. Okay. Also, what's different is that on this machine, everything that happens on the top. You turn it on from the top, and you also adjust its voltage, etc. What's the downfall on that is that when setting up and putting on cartridges, boom, you just saw what happened. It turned on. So it's very sensitive to the touch. And because of it, I think it's a little more risky. You have to keep aware at all times when that cartridge is in there so that you don't strike yourself adjusting something, and or after you've been tattooing so that you don't strike yourself with a contaminated needle. So I find that accidental discharges can happen from the top when setting up and trying to change certain things. Okay? Now, in the new model, then the inside, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at an easier to adjust model. Okay? Still the same design. Big, fat, strong WOS motor. Okay? Still the L bent or the Z-shaped bar to keep it aligned in the middle. But now we see everything clearly in the front right here. And you have every measurement from 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, all easily adjustable by loosening the Allen screw on the side and moving the brass insert up or down. That simple. So it's a lot easier to detect and see and adjust your machine based on the new way that they put everything on it. Okay? Instead of everything being controlled on the top, here we only have the battery cap. The computer system is on the front of the display and not in the cap like in the old model. You do the same as in any other WOS machine with the nipple up. Okay? And from the side, we have the power up and down features. As soon as you turn it on, we get a beautiful WOS logo, the battery life indicator, the timer, and separate controls for hertz and volts. And you can swap it over from dot mode to regular mode also. Okay? That's a glaring difference than the old machine. That and the fact that I told you it comes with 2 grips. I do love this fat grip, okay, because it's kind of football shaped and very easy to hold. And I feel that the extra weight balances the top heavy battery, okay? But that's me personally. That's just a matter of opinion. If you tattoo better with a small grip because that's your cup of tea, then we have it too. So it comes also with a smaller grip. That's what it looks like with this grip on it. What I like with this grip is that it also allows you to put silicone grips on your machine to make it bigger if that's your cup of tea, and etc. with a more slimline traditional grip like so. But here we could control individually hertz, volts, and dot mode, okay, versus no dot mode. Everything in the machine. I've been using it for a couple of months now, and I love how she feels. I think that I love the fact that I could put it in frequency mode only, because it's easier to get a certain effect if you remember it that way. And what do I mean by that? Is that if you're a guy like me that has like tons of pens, you know, every motor inside of these is going to be different. And even though the voltage may be 5 volts at, let's say, a 3.5 stroke, okay, because of the size of the motor, I might have shading with one machine that I like running and I get the effect at 5 volts. But then with another machine, I get the same effect at 7 volts. What's happening there is that most likely I'm getting the effect under a certain frequency, and that frequency is being matched there. So if, let's say, you run shading and you love the way you're shading with the machine, and you're like, you know what, I really love it. What frequency am I at? Under hertz. You know, you look under, boom. Now you know that that's the effect that you want to get for this machine under that stroke. And if you ever want to replicate that, it's easy for you to reference back to it. Also, WOS machine for an extra 20 bucks will put your logo on the machine. I didn't know that. I would have already been taking advantage and putting fancy stuff on mine, but they do offer it. So I wanted to put it out. If you have any questions about anything in the WOS lineup, feel free to reach out to me either on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for being patient with our move. We're now in the new place and the grand opening is coming soon. So stay tuned. Don't forget, 100 subscribers. I already gonna have a give out, and I'm already made up my mind what's gonna be in that give out. It's gonna be good. So tell your homies, spread it out, because I'm going to be giving out to the community some of the love that the community has given me. All right? Thank you and have a good day.